Good day and thanks for joining us. Where is Paul Biya? Paul Biya is back in Cameroon. By the end of this video, you are going to have more detail on that particular issue. We are questioning ourselves 2 months, getting to 3 months, that President Paul Biya left Cameroon to what the state called a brief stay in Europe, and why the CRTV, the main media of the nation, is preparing a 6-page broadcasting document and publishing in a way to prepare Cameroonian on the arrival of President Paul Biya. We are now questioning ourselves about why is the state preferring to organize events in big pomp and giving more value to the reception part of it. We are talking about Paul Biya. Why does the state prefer to give more attention to the ceremonial part of his arrival than the reason why he was absent and why he's been out without giving Cameroonian updates on his particular activities? There are pending issues. The vice president position, in ending March, beginning April, we saw the speed with which the government modified the constitution to bring in the position of the vice president, and it's shocked to know that we have now entered month number 8, going to month number 9. So some 4 months down the lane, and still the president of the republic has not appointed his vice. And aside that, the cabinet reshufflement that he announced on his New Year message to the nation, he said in the days ahead, days have turned months, and very soon we'll start counting years. We had reshufflement at the level of the military high officer, and people said it was to avoid any culture of coup. So we understand that the cacophony that have manned the various outings of the different state personnel stems from the culture of silence, which actually is a fabric and is a way to show loyalty to the system, the 43 years ongoing system that is well known to maintain silence on issues that matter and that can put their credibility at stake. Just that, while he is out, there are so many things happening, and you want to give us a chance to talk about why his arrival might not change something big. He is back, but for what? So we have the case of Zambo. You would have heard about Zambo case. The Zambo case is the gold mine in Lakadei division, that is Garo Abulai, where some 4 people are reported dead, the side of Cameroon, and the death toll globally or regionally has now reached over 100 people dead. At the moment when Professor Maurice Kamto was airing his mind on that topic, he made a general evaluation of what was going. So the Minister of Mine and Technology, Mr. Fu Kalistos, actually made an outing where he explained about the slopy nature. He says the Cameroon part is an alluvial soil, a flat soil, while the part of Central Republic is a steep soil. So explaining that as we are in the raining season, it is normal that those mudslides should actually happen. He gave a long elaboration of so many other things, which I invite you to follow on the excerpt that follow.
Rescue teams are working urgently to locate people still trapped under the debris following a landslide in illegal gold mining sector in Zambo, a locality located at the borders between Central African Republic and Cameroon. Hundreds of people are missing, with families hoping their loved ones may still be found alive. More than 100 people are reported to have died in the incident. The president of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, Professor Maurice Kamto, is one of the few political leaders to have made a statement on the incident. He raises concern over the unsafe environment in which people are working in illegal gold mining sites, even in Cameroon. Babila Jonathan tells us more.
Rescue efforts are continuing at Zambo in the Central African Republic, where a deadly landslide struck an illegal gold mining site on August 18, leaving more than 100 people dead and several others still missing. As rescuers search through tons of earth and debris, hopes remain that some of those trapped underground could still be found alive. Teams on the ground are also working to recover the bodies of victims as the death toll is expected to rise. The tragedy has triggered renewed concerns over the dangerous conditions under which thousands of people operate in informal mining sites, often driven by poverty and the absence of basic safety measures. In a condolence message issued on August 19, opposition politician Professor Maurice Kamto, president of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, expressed sympathy to the victims' families and encouraged those involved in rescue operations to continue their efforts to save anyone who may still be alive and recover the missing. Kamto also linked the disaster to broader concerns over illegal gold exploitation. He accused political and administrative authorities as well as local elite of failing to adequately protect vulnerable miners and called for stronger state control of the mining sector. He further urged the justice system to accelerate investigations into alleged irregularities surrounding Cameroon's gold trade, arguing that illegal exploitation deprives the state of revenue while putting miners' lives at risk.
And the Minister of Mines, Industry and Technological Development made a statement in relation to the incident that occurred in Zambo, saying that the mining site incident is an alert and a pointer to the preventive measures being taken by the Cameroonian authorities. Take a listen to him in the following excerpt.
The accident took place on the 18th of August in the mining locality of Zambo in the Central African Republic, which shares a frontier with Cameroon, as you can see on the map. Technically speaking, on the Cameroon front, mining is practiced in alluvial flats, but on the other side, the activities practiced on very steep slopes, and during the rainy season such an accident is quite possible. So that is what caused it, and we have expressed our sentiments to the Central African Republic authorities who are on site to evaluate the situation. We believe that this only gives a lot of credibility to the moves that the government has taken to restructure the artisanal sector. We've done a lot in the semi-mechanized sector in terms of tax recovery plans, but more so we have also put a lot of guidelines on environment to preempt these kind of situations. But on pure artisanal mining, where we have thousands of people from many countries, this activity is been decentralized to mayors, but more so we have asked the prefects and other people in the localized areas to create groups of 50 to 100, so that all of these other sector of mining which we're addressing should be regrouped into cooperatives of between 50 and 100 people. So the task force that has been created in the Ministry of Mines is going out, has started this work already to make sure that all these type of people who earn a living through this activity are regrouped into cooperatives. And this license is supposed to be given by a mayor on a maximum of 1 hectare, so that they will pay taxes to the council. So it's just a warning signal, as we have always said. Artisanal mining is a risk everywhere in Africa. It's a risk everywhere in the world. And we are very pleased that Cameroon has taken a number of measures to preempt such accidents. So we know that some Cameroonians probably cross over, and I think the government is taking the necessary measures.
Zambo, a landslide continued to increase. Away from
So that is one of the issues that the President of the Republic, in his absence, Cameroonian needs a leader to help captain the ship. But aside that, are commemorating the 40th anniversary of Lake Nyos. You will have heard about the Lake Nyos. So it's been 40 years now, and that is happening in the most parts of the Northwest. But in the Southwest, precisely Biya, they are commemorating the Bakassi, the reinstallation of the Bakassi peninsula. So in Biya, a ceremony took place where they were commemorating how Cameroonian fought strong in order to have back this land that today is enjoyed.
Lives contesting or defending Cameroon's territorial integrity have been remembered in the town of Biya as the military paid tribute to their courage and dedication. The commemoration also served as a reminder to serving soldiers of the responsibilities that goes with protecting the nation, even in the face of danger and personal sacrifice. Call it the ultimate sacrifice. Rexafon completes the story.
Cameroon now prides itself as the legitimate owner of the Bakassi Peninsula. The process of reclaiming the territory came at a heavy cost, with many soldiers losing their lives as they fought bravely to protect the territorial integrity of the country. Today, they are being remembered for their sacrifices.
It's a commemoration of the repossession of the Bakassi Peninsula to our country, and we want to remember all our comrades who died to allow us to be now.
Their courage and dedication remain a strong lesson to living soldiers who have chosen to serve and defend the sanctity of the nation with their sweat and at times even their blood.
We want also to transmit to all our colleagues, military personnel, that courage is the most thing we are looking for military personnel. So those who died, they are not died. They are still with us, and they are giving us strength to continue fighting to bring peace to our country.
The ceremony to commemorate the fallen soldiers in Biya was presided by Colonel Enyemeka Manuel, commander of the 21st Motorized Infantry Brigade, who sat alongside other top military officials of the region.
Another problem Cameroonians are facing, of course, is the problem of youth unemployment. Unemployment with the GC result that is not out. Sources says the interim management body at the GC board left Biya to Bamenda certainly to submit the result that might be out anytime soon. Want to remind that all the other results of the other system, the Francophone system, has been released. Parents already are preparing for the back to school, but the Anglo-Saxon system is held back because of the 3-week delay that was consequential to the frauds, the leakages the unprecedented leakages observed this edition of 2026. Aside of that, there is electricity blackout. With the coming of tsunami, the situation has not changed. We have had people in Biya, in part of Southwest, moving to the street to denounce the situation that they are facing. So we are equally having the high toll of road accident, especially this season of back to school, where holiday makers are making it back to their hometown. We have already registered high rate of death cases in our roads, even though some ministers pride themselves that Cameroon still fall among some of the country with the highest number of kilometer tat. So we are now questioning ourselves, if we were in a normal state with things functioning well, a president who asks for the 8th term, would he not be more concerned with the problem Cameroonians are facing than the events? Yes, very soon the camera will all be open, either today or some other day. We are used with lies, promises, unfulfilled promises, which actually lead us no hope for the future. But going to the airport to welcome the President of the Republic, mobilizing all the camera to welcome him, will just be an event. But a state is not judged on his ability to welcome back his president effectively. Maybe the CRTV might have some credit for doing that, but a state is evaluated on his ability to provide a better standard of living for his own people. And certainly all the debates we've been witnessing all these days is because the governing culture has been shifted to ceremonial activity rather than providing solution to all the problems listed. And so we are going to end with this situation happening in Biya, where relative, and this is only one of the many cases that might have come to our attention, the case of usually Chief Samson Abakma. Those who were in the University of Biya before 2015 knew him as the registrar. He has signed so many GCE certificates. For those who are between 35 to about 55, I think you have an idea of this man. So he's coming today in the wrong part of history, because he actually, for the past 13 months, has been subject to a blackmail, exposing his relative with whom he had land dispute according to their report. But the Southwest Military Tribunal had to give a final verdict to the case, bailing him some 100 and something thousand francs for court charges. And people say this is small. They will have paid him hundreds of millions, because his alleged victims were facing death charges. When we remember that there are so many Anglophones at the maximum security prison in Yaoundé, just because they once thought Cameroon could aim for another form of government, like federation, and that was enough for them to be sent to jail. So many other people decry that there are so many family members that have used or are still using the Anglophone crisis to settle dispute, family dispute, social dispute, financial dispute. In short, individuals that cannot handle their personal grievances are now using the crisis, have been using the crisis to settle score. And the case of Abagma has just shed light on a practice that is denounced here, so that it should not repeat itself. So you need to be vigilant. If you are poorly accused by whosoever, whatever is power, don't be afraid to take the issue to court. And the time is going to take till the judge find you non-guilty is necessary. So this edition equally make a report for that will urge you to follow.
And now we talk something else. 3 persons who face the possibility of receiving a death penalty or life imprisonment can now breathe a sigh of relief. And after 13 months of court appearances, the military tribunal in Biya has acquitted them, ruling that the complaint filed by their uncle failed to provide substantial evidence to support the allegations, labeling them as separatist fighters. We have more with our Biya-based chief correspondent, Rex Afon.
They were inches away from being sentenced to death or life imprisonment.
They were Abangma Roland Akunda, Abangma Samson Negu, and Abangma Luis Getokaja. These were the 3 that their uncle, who happens to be the chief of their village, Bachena Kwaya, a former registrar of the University of Biya, a retired professor, made these incriminating allegations against them.
The military tribunal in Biya, where the case was filed, ruled that the complainant, Professor Samson Abangma, had no substantial evidence to support his claims.
The military court, in its final wisdom, did not find any incriminating evidence. The facts of the case before them disclosed quite a different thing, which is a land dispute. These 3 have been fighting to reclaim the estate of their father in that same village in Bache. And you come now and panel beat it to suit your intention to blackmail and destroy their career. And the court said no. And it was instead rather him, the hunter, who was hunted, and the court gave a verdict. The court said he should have to pay for the cost of proceedings in the tune of 100 and something thousand francs, failure of which he shall be sent in prison for 9 months.
The accused, now vindicated, can finally breathe a sigh of relief after 13 months of constant court appearances for a crime the court has confirmed they did not commit.
I've never been to the police, I've never been to the gendarmes. My first appearance was at the Legion that my own uncle took me and my siblings for a crime we did not commit.
I also want to thank the legal bench, the magistrate, who gave us the opportunity fairly, because the people who took us there, as I always say, they took us there not to be hurt, but to be silent. Fortunately for them, the help of God, our able lawyer, were free.
Some observers say the case reflects how some people can exploit the ongoing crisis to incriminate others and settle personal scores.
Prosecutors should maintain the path of prosecution, not persecution. Don't fabricate evidence just to sue somebody who wants to exploit your services to vent his anger against his perceived enemies.
The panel, led by Lieutenant Colonel Magistrate Honor Samuel, President of the Military Tribunal in Biya, has been praised by legal minds as an example to both military and civilian judicial personnel. They objectively heard the case and allowed justice to prevail.
So those were the main issues for this particular edition of Cameroon Wahala. Tell us, how did you find this other format? I'll be yours again. Until then, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.